Video game addiction is a topic that can be hotly contested and controversial within the gaming community. It's not just gamers who feel passionate about this topic, but academics as well, and even the public in the media. Because of that, I wanted to take the time today to help people understand this issue better so individuals who are struggling can get the help that they deserve, and the public at large can better understand what this whole issue is about, who it impacts, and ultimately, what can we actually do about it. The first case of video game addiction was reported in the early 1980s by three researchers, Ross, Finestone, and Lavin. They reported 3 cases of what they called space invaders obsession. Video game addiction is a term that goes by many different names. The World Health Organization officially classified what they call gaming disorder, whereas the American Psychiatric Association, the APA in the United States, they call what they propose internet gaming disorder. There are other names as well within the literature, such as gaming addiction, compulsive gaming, and problematic video game playing. Video game addiction is what we call a behavioral addiction. This is a type of addiction that does not require a substance such as nicotine, alcohol, or prescription medication. The individual struggling still feels a sense of high, and that can be so compelling that they continue to engage in that activity despite the occurrence of negative consequences. Although gamers play games all over the world and most people are playing, gaming disorder is said to impact about 3% of gamers worldwide. Prevalence studies can range from under 1% to 27% depending on the method and design of the study. However, a meta-analysis of high-quality studies has found about 3% struggle with gaming disorder, and I would suggest about 10% struggle more broadly with some aspect of problematic play. Sitting for long hours playing video games affects your physical health. It also leads to poor sleep schedules, poor hygiene, obesity, poor diets, and much more. When it comes to someone's mental health, issues such as increased anxiety, increased depression, increased suicidal ideation, poor emotional regulation, and social skill deficits are all issues related to gaming addiction. Although many people play, men and women, men tend to be more at risk of developing a gaming problem. Some research has suggested the reasons for this include things like men tend to play more competitive-based games or achievement-focused games that show a higher risk of developing a gaming problem, whereas women play more pro-social, casual games that are less risky for developing an issue. I will say, however, that over the last year, I have received an increase of inquiries specifically from families looking for help for a daughter. So although gaming addiction has impacted men maybe more than women over the last few years, I do see an increase in women who need help. Although kids tend to get a lot of the headlines in the media when it comes to this issue, college students are the ones that I see being impacted the most. Often this happens because when you're in high school, classwork isn't very difficult, you have more parental supervision, more structure, and more monitoring. Whereas when you go off to college, you have a change to your social environment, harder classwork, more stress, less structure, and this all leads to you escaping into games. This escape then increases your stress because you get further behind in class, and this creates a vicious cycle where maybe you fail a test, maybe you fail a class, or maybe you fail out of school altogether. Traditionally, gaming was seen as sort of a rich kid's problem. It was something that if you had the privilege to have enough money to have a PlayStation or an Xbox or a gaming computer, then that gave you the opportunity to even be addicted to games in the first place. However, over the last decade, as smartphones have come full circle, they've put gaming in our pockets and introduced mobile gaming. They've increased access. Gaming now tends to actually impact people who may have a lower economic status than other people. And part of this is due to less monitoring, both parents working, and just more opportunity to spend your time with your smartphone playing games. Although some individuals are more at risk because they have underlying mental health conditions such as ADHD or autism, games are specifically designed to increase engagement, not just through playtime, but increasingly through monetization. Some game features can lead individuals to developing problems such as punishment for not playing, streaks, login bonuses, and variable ratio schedules, where you're constantly getting rewarded for your effort, but that reward tends to be random, and that keeps you playing, so you get to feel that same sensation of getting rewarded for your efforts. Treatment for gaming disorder is possible, and although this is a new and exciting area of research, thus far CBT or cognitive behavioral therapy has shown good effectiveness for individuals who are struggling with gaming disorder. Now, because this is a global problem, countries all over the world are being impacted by it. Various countries and their governments have taken different approaches to try to solve it. In China recently, they restricted gaming to minors to under 3 hours per week and mostly on the weekends, whereas governments such as the UK have done inquiries around loot boxes, and they've also opened a treatment center in the NHS, the National Healthcare System, that treats gaming disorder. Countries such as Belgium have banned predatory microtransactions such as loot boxes to better protect their citizens. Finally, the thing I really want to share for anybody watching is that it is possible to overcome this issue in your life. I was addicted to video games for about 10 years. I dropped out of high school. I was pretending to have jobs and deceiving my family, and even got to the point where I wrote a suicide note. Gaming severely impacted not just my academic and career future, but also my relationships. And with the help of a counselor, I was able to turn my situation around. Over the last decade, through Game Quitters, I've seen thousands and thousands of individuals improve their situation as well. So although this issue can be very severe and can impact people from all walks of life, it is possible to get better. So if you're watching this or you have someone in your life who is struggling, you can go to gamequitters.com and check out our programs that are there to support you. We also have free support communities for individuals and for families as well. And we have a professional course for mental health professionals such as therapists, counselors, and other people who work with young people to better understand this issue and help those around them. Asking for help ultimately saved my life, and I truly believe it can save yours as well. So if you're out there and you're struggling, ask for help because things will get better. Otherwise, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and help us reach more people with this video. It really means a lot. Has gaming impacted your life? And if so, how? I'd love to hear from you in the comments below, and I'll be in there interacting with you guys. And as always, I'll see you in next week's video. But until then, take care and peace.